Hello, welcome back to the next session in microwave devices, that is traveling wave tube. Okay, so in today's video lecture I will explain regarding the introduction of traveling wave tube, comparison between the what is happening inside the traveling wave tube, comparison between two cavity klystron amplifier as well as traveling wave tube amplifier. Okay. So in general we can call this traveling wave tube TWTA. Okay, traveling wave tube amplifier, TWTA. Okay, so it is a microwave amplifier which make use of a strong interaction between the electron beam and a traveling wave through a slow wave structure. That structure can be any type, that is can be a helix, zigzag, corrugated wave and all those things. So in the slow wave structure, both the velocity and density modulation of electron beam may occur. Okay, that both velocity modulation as well as density modulation of the electron beam occurs in the slow wave structure. So before going to deal something regarding the in order to explain something regarding the traveling wave tube amplifier, we should know what is slow wave structure, what are the different type of slow wave structure that is being utilized in the traveling wave tube amplifier, and all those things, and some of the mathematical relations related to the slow wave structure. Okay, I will give a point to you that we have already discussed the what you call as two cavity klystron amplifier. There we are utilizing two cavity. Here such cavities are not present in traveling wave tube amplifier. We are not utilizing any cavity here. That is why we can call this as a non-resonant circuit. Traveling wave tube is a non-resonant circuit. So this has been invented by traveling wave tube has been invented by Compfner. I write as COMPFNER. Okay, invented by Compfner. I think it is nearly in 1994, nearly in 1994. He was introducing this traveling wave tube, and the traveling wave tube was helix traveling wave tube. Helix traveling wave tube. Okay. Afterwards, the basic structure of this helix traveling tube has been changed, and this has been utilized for broadband application and all those things. So normally there are two. If we classify the traveling wave tube, we can broadly classify this into two categories. One is the helix traveling wave tube. These are almost exclusively utilized for various application, and second one is the coupled cavity traveling wave tube. So I will write that one. The first is nothing but the helix traveling wave tube. Helix TWT that was been widely utilized for broadband application. The second category was coupled cavity. Traveling wave tube. Okay, these are these are being widely used for what you call as high average, where we require for high average power, such as in radar transmitter. We are normally utilize this coupled cavity travel wave tube are commonly utilized. Okay, where there is a need for high average power, high average power, that is mainly for radar application or radar transmitter. Radar transmitter, normally we are utilizing the coupled cavity, what you call as travel wave tube. So as I told you, there is a strong interaction between the or the traveling wave tube in general is a microwave amplifier which make use of a strong interaction between the electron beam and a traveling wave through a slow wave structure. So in traveling wave tube, a slow wave structure is being present inside the traveling wave tube. A slow wave structure I can write it as SWS is present inside traveling wave tube. Okay. Again, as I told you, if we compare with the two cavity Klystron amplifier, there is two cavities being utilized. Here it is not like that. Traveling wave tube is a what you call as 1 minute. This one. Okay. Traveling wave tube is a non-resonance circuit. TWT is a non-resonance circuit. That is because we are not tuning this to a particular frequency. That is because we are not tuning to a particular frequency, particular resonant frequency. Okay. The next point what I had to discuss to you that if we increase the dielectric constant, then the efficiency of the traveling wave tube will be lost. Okay, that is very important. Keep in mind, if dielectric constant is more, efficiency, that is eta, will be lost. Will be lost. 1 minute. Okay. So as I told you, this traveling wave tube is a traveling wave tube amplifier. Traveling wave tube amplifier. Write this as it is. Traveling wave tube amplifier is a microwave amplifier. Microwave amplifier. 1 minute. What happened? It's a microwave amplifier which make use of a strong interaction between what? Strong interaction between an electron beam and electron beam and a traveling wave through a that will be occurs inside the slow wave structure or through a slow wave structure. Through a slow wave structure, and that structure can be such as, in general I will give only helix, such as helix. Okay, so many structures are there. Okay, such a helix. So inside this helix is a slow wave structure. There is a strong interaction between the electron beam and traveling wave. So what happens then? So in this slow wave structure, both velocity modulation and density modulation, that is current modulation of electron beam will be occurring. So in this slow wave structure, both velocity modulation and current modulation, can call this a density modulation, of electron beam occur, of electron beam will occur inside that one. Okay. So, 1 minute, I will bring this down. Okay. Okay, now it's clear. So this was the things that is happening inside the, very important, these 2 points. So the main thing what is happening inside the traveling wave tube is a just nothing but a microwave amplifier, which make use of a strong interaction between the electron beam and a traveling wave through a slow wave structure. So in the slow wave structure, both velocity modulation, everything is being happening inside that, both velocity modulation, current modulation is being occurring inside the slow wave structure. Of modulation of electron beam will be occurring inside the slow wave structure, and we will taking the amplified signal out through the helix structure. Okay. So in the previous case, in order to maintain the resonance frequency at the operating frequency, we had to change the values of LNC. So that made a different. So in this case, there is a different type of non-resonance structure we have been utilizing here. Just like helical structure, zigzag structure, corrugated structure, and all those things, where LNC does not have to be tuned. So okay, so I will write that one. In order to maintain the resonant frequency, at the operating frequency, we have to change the values of, in normal case, we have to change the values of LNC, inductor and capacitor. Therefore, the scientist has made a different type of non-resonant structure. Therefore, I will take they in the sense means the people who made this one, traveling wave tube, they made a different type of non-resonant structure. They made a different type of non-resonant structure. I can call like helical structure, zigzag. So many structure is let me come across that structure afterwards. Okay, time being you structure etc. Where L and C, inductor and capacitor, does not has to be turned. Does not have to be tuned, because the wave that is being passing through the helical structure will be very slow. Passing through the helical structure in the sense that is the velocity modulation, velocity passing through the wave, that is the velocity of the wave that is being passing through the helical structure will be very slowly it will be moved. So the electron that is being coming earlier, later, as well as the reference, all this electron will bunch at a particular point on a particular section. Okay, that is happening here. Okay, that also I will write, because the wave passing through helical structure will be very slow. So the velocity of the electron, so the velocity of electron coming earlier, comma later, and comma similarly reference electron can all be bunched at a particular point on the structure or on the structure or section or on a particular section. Okay, point it is equal bunch at a particular point, that is enough. Okay, I think it is clear for you people regarding the basic of what you call as traveling wave tube. Basic or the introduction part of the travel. Normally it works in 300 megahertz to 550 gigahertz. That also I will just point out. It will operate at 300 megahertz to, or otherwise 300 megahertz to 50 gigahertz. That is operating frequency. Okay. As I told you, traveling wave 2 is a non-resonant circuit and wave will propagate with the same speed as the electron in the beam. Okay. So that has to keep in mind. Microwave, it is a traveling wave 2 is a microwave amplifier which use of a strong interaction between the electron beam and a traveling wave through a slow wave structure such as helix. So in this slow wave structure, both velocity and density modulation of the electron beam will occur. Okay. Next point what I have to take down is what I will write. This is a linear in category. If you see the category of what you called as travel wave tube amplifier, it is a linear beam O-type devices. Linear beam or O-type devices. Okay. These are mainly used in microwave receiver as mainly as a low noise RF amplifier. Okay, used in microwave receivers as a what I told as a low noise RF amplifier. Okay. Not only that, it is used in wideband communication links and coaxial cable as repeater amplifier or intermediate amplifier to amplify the low signal also. What I told, it is used in wideband communication link and coaxial cable as repeaters amplifier or intermediate amplifier to amplify low signal, low signals. Okay. This is used in wideband communication links and coaxial cable as a repeater amplifier or intermediate amplifier to amplify the low signal. Okay. It has got long tube life. The helical tube that we have been utilizing here can be utilized at many years. Okay, the life is very long. It has long tube life. Tube in the sense means helical tube. Okay, that is being used inside this one, and is used in power output in communication satellite. Okay. Now it can also be used as a what you call as high power pulse radar and ground based radar also. Used in high power pulsed radar and ground based radar. Okay, pulse radar and ground based radar, keep in mind. The another important thing I had to discuss is it is mainly used in high power carrier wave tube in what you call as troposcatter links, used in continuous wave, high power traveling wave tube or continuous wave high power traveling tube are used in troposcatter link because of large bandwidth and large power. Because of large power and large bandwidth. Because of large power and large bandwidth to scatter the large distance. Okay, to scatter scatter to a larger distance. Scatter to a larger distance. Another important thing is it is complex, bulky, and it is very costlier also. Okay, it is complex, bulky, and costlier also. And costly. Okay. One more thing you have to keep in mind in case of traveling wave tube is that in traveling wave tube, the interaction between the electron beam and RF field will be continuous over the entire length of the circuit. Keep in mind, the interaction between the RF field and electron beam, or electron beam and RF field, is continuous over the entire length of the circuit. Okay, that also I will write. What I have told you, the interaction between electron beam and RF field is continuous over the entire length of the circuit. Okay, over the entire length of the circuit. So that is very important in case of what you call as a traveling wave tube. As I told you, two type is the helix traveling wave tube and coupled cavity. It will account that traveling wave tube accounts 50% of microwave total tubes. That is broadly used in microwave. Why I call this? It is broadly used in microwave, all microwave application. That is why I told you 50% of them accounts 50% of microwave total tubes. So one of the major advantage of traveling to wave tube with respect to other microwave tube is it can amplify a wide range of frequency. It can amplify to a wide range of frequency, whereas in case of other microwave tubes, it is not like that. It will be concentrated onto a particular, onto a little frequency. But in this case, we can amplify it over a wide range of frequency. So that is one of the major important. Okay, the major advantage of traveling wave tube with respect to other microwave tube is to amplify a wide range of frequency. Wide range of is to amplify a wide range of frequency. Okay. Next important things I had to indicate is some of the operational parameters of traveling wave tube. As in other case also I have discussed this point, operational parameters. Okay. The first operational parameters is that about operating frequency range. Operating frequency range. It is from 300 megahertz to 50 gigahertz. Okay, that I already discussed. The second point is power gain. The power gain what we have obtained is 40 to 70 dB decibels. That is nearly you will obtain 60 dB. Okay. The third one is output power range from few watt to megawatt. Okay. Output power range will be from few watts to megawatt of power. Okay. The next point is bandwidth. Bandwidth what we can obtain is nearly 0.8 gigahertz bandwidth. The fifth point is efficiency. Is that about 20 to 40% is not good, not so high efficient. Okay, 20 to 40%. Then also we are normally utilizing this tube only. Okay, power output is up to 10 kilowatt average. The seventh point is power gain. That already I told you, so power gain is 60 dB. Okay, no problem. So these are the some of the what you called as operational parameters of what you called as your traveling wave tube. In the introduction part, the operational parameters of traveling wave tube. Now we have to see the what you called as the comparison between the what you called as your two traveling wave tube as well as the things what you have discussed, which is that about the two cavity klystron amplifier. Okay, that is important. So as I told you, as we discussed in the previous section, whether it is in the reference klystron oscillator that we have analyzed in detail in the previous section. So before coming to the what you call as a traveling wave tube, we had to compare, since we have already studied this reference klystron, two cavity klystron amplifier and also all those things, we had to compare with this. Why we had to go for the traveling wave tube? Okay, so that comparison is very important. Okay, that is the operating basic operating principle of both the traveling wave tube and the klystron. Comparison of basic operating principle of both travel wave tube and the klystron. As I told you, in the what you called as in the in traveling wave tube, the microwave circuit is non-resonant and wave propagate with the same speed as the electron in the beam. Okay, that I will write it. That is, in traveling wave tube, the microwave circuit is non-resonant, that already we have written here, and the wave propagates with the same speed as the electron in the beam. That's very important. Okay. Next point is the initial effect on the beam is nothing but a small amount of velocity modulation that is being caused by the weak electric field that is associated with the what you call as your traveling wave. Okay, just as in klystron, this what is happening in the klystron? This velocity modulation later translated to current modulation, which then induce a RF current in the circuit, causing amplification. That is happening in case of two cavity klystron amplifier. Okay. So, as I told you, in the traveling wave tube, the microwave circuit is a non-resonant and the wave propagate with the same speed as the electron in the beam. Okay. Next point, what I had to write it, the initial effect on the beam is a small amount of velocity modulation that is caused by weak electric field associated with what? With the traveling wave. Associated with the traveling wave. Okay. The effect on the beam is a small amount of, it will create a small amount of velocity modulation that is caused by the weak electric field that is being associated with the travel wave. Whereas, just as in klystron, as in the two cavity klystron, what is happening? This velocity modulation, that is traveling of this one electric field as well as interaction of electron beam and electric field, that occurs, and it will create a velocity modulation. So, this velocity modulation later will be converted to current modulation. This velocity modulation later translate to current modulation, which then induces an RF current in the circuit, okay, causing amplification, clear? But there are some major difference between the traveling wave tube as well as the klystron. We can see that some of the major difference related to the traveling wave tube as well as the major difference between traveling wave tube and klystron. Okay, sorry. What is the major difference between traveling wave tube and the klystron? Okay, the first point what I will write it. So the interaction of electron beam and RF field in the traveling wave tube is continuous over the entire length of the circuit. But in case of klystron, the interaction in the klystron that will occur only at the gap of a few resonant cavity. That I have already discussed about. In case of two cavity klystron amplifier, we are having gap A and gap B. Is not. So the interaction will be occurring there. That is first main point here. Whereas in this case, the interaction is from throughout the structure of the traveling wave tube. The interaction of electron beam and RF field in the traveling wave tube is continuous over the entire length of the circuit. Over the entire length of the circuit. But the interaction in the klystron occurs only at the gaps, of a few resonant cavity. The second point what I have to discuss is the wave that is been traveling in a TWT is a propagating wave. That is the wave, whereas in case of klystron it is not a propagating wave. Okay, the wave in the traveling wave tube is a propagating wave. Okay, whereas the wave in the klystron is not a propagating. Is not. I will write like that. Is not. The third point, we are having a one category. Two categories. The one is the helical traveling wave tube, and the one is the coupled cavity traveling wave tube. But in the coupled cavity traveling wave tube, there will be a coupling effect between the cavities, whereas each cavity in the klystron will be operates independently. That is, in the coupled cavity traveling wave tube, there will be a coupling effect will be there between the cavities, but it is not the case of klystron. In klystron, we have Buncher cavity as well as Catcher cavity. Both will be operating at independently. Whereas if you take this coupled cavity travel into a tube, it is not like that. There is a what you call as a coupling effect is there between the cavities. So that is another major important difference. In the coupled cavity travel wave tube, there is a coupling effect between the cavities, whereas each cavity in the klystron operates independently. It will operate independently. Okay, these are the some of the major important what you called as difference between the what you called as the two cavity klystron amplifier as well as your what you called as your traveling wave. So I will make two columns, and I will for your better purpose, I will make two columns and write it in a different manner. Klystron amplifier, TW2 amplifier, the difference in general. Okay, you can keep it in pocket, these things, and so that at any time you can refer this one. The first point is linear beam or O type device. This is also same thing, linear beam or O type device. Second uses resonant cavity for input and output circuits. Here uses non-resonant slow wave structure, slow wave circuit such as helix. The third point, this is narrowband device due to use of resonant cavity. This is a wideband device. Wideband device due to non-resonant wave circuit. Okay, third point. The fourth point what I will discuss. So there is an interaction between the electron beam and RF field occurs only at the gap of the resonant cavity. Interaction between electron beam and RF field occurs only at the gap of resonant cavity. Here the interaction between electron beam and RF field is continuous over the entire length of the circuit. Interaction between the electron beam and RF field is continuous over the entire length of the circuit. Okay, that is the fifth point I will write. The wave in the klystron is not a propagating wave. Wave in klystron is not a propagating wave. Here the wave in the traveling wave tube is a wave in TW tube is a traveling or propagating wave or propagating wave. Fifth point. The sixth point, noise figure is high due to the use of resonance circuit. Okay, or the resonant cavity, I can write it as resonant cavity, that is good. Here the noise figure is low. Noise figure is low as it's a non-resonant, as it is non-resonant. Next point, for same output power, output or output power, klystron is simple, not bulky and cheap. Whereas traveling wave tube, for the same output power, output, TWT is complex, bulky and costly. One more point I will write, the eighth one, does not saturate for medium power inputs, whereas it will saturate for medium and high power inputs due to saturation of helix. Due to saturation of helix. So these are some of the major difference between the klystron amplifier as well as the traveling wave tube. So you can directly refer the things. I have written 8 points here. if you have some other points, you can add it. Okay, no problem. So application also I told you, mainly utilized in broadband microwave application. It can utilize as a repeat amplifier in wideband communication links. It's a drive amplifier in high power radars. It can be utilized as a low noise front and RF amplifier in most of the radar systems or receivers. It can be utilized as a power output tube in communication satellite, as well as a high power satellite transponder, that is in C-band. That I will give you the after completing all the things. We can write the application of traveling wave tube. I will write that in there. Okay. I think these are some of the introductory part of the traveling wave tube. The comparison of traveling wave tube with that of klystron. I think I have written everything. It will be simple for you if you read this one. This notes what I have given here. Okay. In the next video lecture, we can see the different type of slow wave structure that is being utilized in the traveling wave tube, as well as some of the mathematical analysis related to it. And continuation with that one, we can proceed with the structure as well as the working operation of traveling wave tube and the mathematical analysis. So thank you for watching this video. Let me see in the other video section. Thank you.